Hello everyone, myself Varsha Burman, and today I am going to deal with the topic known as Walsh diagram from inorganic chemistry. So Walsh diagram was given by A.D. Walsh. He is a British chemistry professor. So in Walsh diagrams helps to predict the approximate accurate shape of the molecules. And regarding the shape of the molecules, we have already deal with the VSEPR theory. But in VSEPR theory, the VSEPR theory, that is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, deals only with the repulsion, electron pair repulsion, that is lone pair repulsion, lone pair bond pair repulsion, and bond pair repulsion. But on but for the polyatomic molecules, various factors are needed to be studied, that is and in Walsh diagram we are going to study about polyatomic molecules, and polyatomic molecules based on various factors such as electron electron repulsion, nucleus electron attraction, and many other factors on which the Walsh diagram is based. So for this, Walsh has published many papers, and on the basis of that papers he draw a correlation diagram. A correlation diagram is known as which correlate between the energy levels of particular orbital or separated atoms with the matlab in correlation diagram, the energy level of separated atoms is correlated with the energy levels of the molecular orbitals, or in Walsh diagram he is going to correlate the molecular orbital diagram with the molecular symmetry. So let's go to next page. So Walsh diagram. So I've already told that Walsh diagram were first introduced by A.D. Walsh. He's a British chemistry professor. And Walsh diagram often called as angular coordinate diagram or correlation diagram, because here two things are correlating. One is energy level of any particular atom is correlated with the energy level of the orbital, or the molecular orbital diagram is correlated with the symmetry. So Walsh diagram, often called as angular correlate coordinate diagram or correlation diagram, a representation of calculated orbital binding energy of a molecule versus a distortion coordinate bond angles. So here the diagram is plotted between the Walsh energy level diagram is plotted between the bond angles on the x-axis and energies on the y-axis, and it is used for making quick prediction about the geometries of the small molecules. By plotting the change in molecular orbital levels of a molecule as a function of geometrical shape, Walsh diagram explain why molecules are more stable in certain sepal configuration. Example, why water adopts a band conformation. So actually in Walsh diagram doesn't go with the repulsion, that is electron repulsion. Without any repulsion, he is going to explain the approximate shape of any molecule. Okay? So Walsh diagram is considered without explaining any repulsion, which we have read in the BSEPR theory. So next one, a major application of the Walsh diagram is to explain a major application of Walsh diagram is to explain the regularity in the structure observed for related molecules having identical number of valence electrons. That is why H2O and H2S look similar, because both are having 8 valence electron, 2 of hydrogen and 6 of oxygen, and here 2 of hydrogen and S of uh, 8 of sulfur. Both have same number of valence electrons, and to account for how molecules alter their geometries as the number of electrons or spin state changes. Okay, additionally, Walsh diagram can use to predict distortion of the molecular geometry from knowledge of how LUMO affects the HOMO and when the molecule experience geometrical perturbation. Here we are going to explain that why S2 and S2S has the same number of valence electrons, but their geometry are different. The different geometry can be studied with the help of highest occupied molecular orbital and lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. On the basis of that, and on the basis that why molecule experience geometrical perturbation. Perturbation means the disturbance in the geometry is actually the perturbation. So why, and due to this perturbation, the geometry of the molecules becomes different in spite of having same number of valence electron, and that is the reason why S2 and S2O look similar, looks having same number of valence electron but have different geometry. going to, okay, one thing is left. Walsh rule for predicting shape of the molecule states that a molecule will adopt a structure that best provides the most stability for its HOMO. If a particular structural change does not perturb the HOMO, the closest occupied molecular orbital governs the preference for geometrical orientation. So we will proceed to next page. It will be explained in the next page. So here is my notes. Actually, it is, I have prepared these notes from several books. So it is, so through these notes, it will be more clear to you. So I have used my notes. So I have already told that Walls diagram is also known as correlation diagram or MO correlation diagram. Walls applied this diagram to relatively simple cases like H2O, BeH2, AH2, etc. The approach to certain generalization called Walls rules rotating the shape of a triatomic molecule to their electronic structure. So regarding the shape of the molecules, VSEPR theory and molecular approach are used. Actually, to determine the shape of the molecule, several theories are explained, like VSEPR theory and various other molecular approach are also studied in order to explain the shape of the molecules. I have already told that VSEPR theory deals with the repulsion, but here, without any repulsion, Walsh is going to explain the geometry of the molecules without any repulsion, approximate geometry of the molecules. So the next paragraph is not so important because I have already told earlier. So we can read this. Regarding the shape of the molecules, VSEPR theory and molecular approach are used. The VSEPR theory focus only on one factor, that is repulsion between the electron pairs. Okay, lone pair repulsion, bond pair repulsion, bond pair repulsion. On the other hand, shape of the polyatomic molecules depend upon many factors such as electron nucleus attraction, electron electron repulsion, nucleus nucleus repulsion, and electron kinetic energies. Walsh published many papers for determining the total contribution of the energy from orbital of different types of energies. On the basis of this papers, Walsh diagram is able to calculate the energies of molecular orbitals for two limiting structures, that is for linear structure and for band structure. So we are going to study the geometry of the molecules between the two angles, that is 180-degree and one is 90-degree, that how the geometry of the molecules changes on bending the molecules from linear, that is from 180-degree to 90-degree, and for showing how the orbitals of one configuration correlate with those of other configuration. Depending upon which orbital was occupied, one or other structures can be seen to be preferred. Thus, by means of approximate molecular orbital theory, the structures can be explained. Let's go to another slide. So here we are taking example of triatomic molecules because generally Walls diagram is applicable for polyatomic molecules. So here is a triatomic molecule. So let us consider triatomic molecule by taking an example of AB2 type molecules. 2B and 1A it is triatomic molecules. So here we are taking AB2 type of molecules. One as a linear shape. You are seeing that in a molecular axis A is attached to 2B atom in a linear way or in a trigonal planar way. So we are considering this geometry in a linear way also or in a trigonal planar also. So the shape of the AB2 molecule has C2V point group, as we already read in the group theory, that if we take this AB2 molecule as a trigonal planar molecule, that is AB2 that is showing in the diagram, if we apply a group theory or a symmetry operation in this AB2 molecule as a trigonal planar geometry, the molecule will acquire a C2V point group. So the shape of the molecule has C2V symmetry when it is bent, okay, and b infinite h when it is linear, and when we take the molecule as BAB as a linear structure, so in the linear molecule the point group will be going to d infinite h. So d infinite h when it is linear in shape. To simplify, uh, to simply an extremium of the C2V symmetry, therefore the label given to the orbital to the large, actually the यहाँ actually the label which is given here from 90 degree to 180 degree or 180 to 90 degree are related are related to each other, and through this we can explain the shape of the molecules in diagonal planar also or in linear also. And the symbol which we are going to use in the next slide, and that which are not used here, like a1b, 3a1, 2 sigma g, 1 pi mu, this label are used on the basis of molecular symmetry. That's what I'm going to say. So the orbitals, label the orbitals are derived from the orbital symmetry properties in the systematic way. The atom A of the molecule AB2, that will be going in the next page actually. The atom A of the molecule AB2 will have supposed to have only s, px, py and pz orbital in its valence shell, and each B atom, actually it is saying about AB2 type of molecule, okay. Valence shell, and each B atom has only one single orbital which is oriented to form sigma bond with A. Let us consider AH2. That's what I'm saying right now. Let's consider a molecule AH2 or AB2. It is constructed by considering how the composition and energy of the molecular orbital changes. We are not taking the example of triatomic molecule, we have already discussed. Now we are taking an example of AB2 molecule. It is also a triatomic molecule, and here we are discussing that how the energy changes by bending the molecule from the linear to bend, that is from 180 degree to 90 degree. So in AB2 molecule it is constructed by considering how the composition and energy of molecular orbital changes as the bond angle changes from 90 to 180 degree. It is assumed that the molecular orbitals are formed solely from valence s and p orbitals of atom A and it and orbitals of hydrogen atom. Okay, so here we are using molecular orbitals of A and molecular orbitals of B. Let's go to next slide. So here I am, okay, one sec. Let's take an example of AH2 molecules. As I have already told, it is a triatomic molecule. So for the linear geometry, we are talking about two type of geometry, that is band geometry and linear geometry. So when the molecule is having a angle of 180 degree, it should be linear, and when it is 90 degree, it is band. It is already understood. So for the linear geometry, AH2 molecule, see the diagram also and see the theory also. Okay, for the linear geometry AH2 molecule, the lowest energy molecular orbital, that is 2 sigma g, you are seeing there in the diagram 2 sigma g. 2 sigma g is formed by s orbital of A atom, s orbital of A atom, and one s orbital of the hydrogen atom. So uh, two s orbitals of H are used here, and one s orbital of A is used here. Okay, so 2 sigma g is formed by the s orbital of A atom and one s orbital of the hydrogen atom, and forms, and it is a linear geometry. So on bending the molecule, the 2a1 orbital is formed. So by bending 180 degree to 90 degree, and in bending this molecule slightly, some amount of energy is released on bending this molecule, and by bending this molecule, a new molecular orbital is formed, that is denoted by 2a1. So on bending the molecule, the 2a1 orbital, which forms, is slightly lower in energy than the original 2 sigma g, that is looking in the diagram, and this diagram is plotted between the angles in the x-axis and energy in the y-axis, which are not written here, but I am saying this, you can write it. So which forms slightly in lower in energy than the original 2 sigma g. This is due to the fact that one s orbital of hydrogen atom gather with each other and with p orbital of A on the two-fold molecular axis, which becomes the minor component of 2a1. It is not so important, you will get confused, so take it easy. The now on excitation, the 1 sigma mu molecular orbitals of linear molecule is formed. On exciting, the 1 sigma mu molecular orbital, a linear molecule is formed from the p orbital of A atom on the molecular axis and the asymmetric combination of 1s orbital of the hydrogen atom. So in 2 sigma g there is symmetrical overlapping between the A and H, but in the 1 sigma mu u, there is asymmetric overlapping between the hydrogen atom and A atom. The p orbital of A atom is used and 1s orbital of hydrogen is used, because here AH2 means 2 hydrogen is there. So bending the molecule. Now, it is a linear molecule and overlapping is not so good. It is incomplete overlapping. So, by bending this molecule to 90 degree, another orbital is formed, which is denoted by 1b2. By bending this molecule to 90 degree, amount of energy is required. This time energy is not releasing, this time energy is required in bending this molecule. So 1b2 is higher in higher energy level, which is seen in the diagram. So bending the molecule converts the molecular orbital to 1b2 MO. This orbital has higher energy orbital because when as our orbitals do not overlap as well with the p orbitals. As I have already told that h orbitals do not completely overlap with the a orbital, means p orbital of a atom. Next, on further excitation, the energy level of doubly degenerate on the top. The energy level, see on the top, I am reading, just you see that. The energy level of the doubly degenerate p orbital 1 pi mu, 1 pi mu, the energy level of doubly degenerate p orbital 1 pi mu is highest. 1 pi mu is highest, and both the p orbital, both p x and py, you can take as pz and py, I am taking as px and py, both the orbital are perpendicular to the molecular axis. It is not parallel to the molecular axis, it is actually perpendicular to the molecular axis. Okay, so the energy level of doubly degenerate p orbital 1 pi mu orbital is highest. It consists of two p orbital, as it is seen. It consists of two p orbitals of A atom perpendicular to the molecular axis. It does not overlap with the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom. It is impossible. Overlapping is impossible between the p orbital and 1s orbital because it is present perpendicular to each other. So overlapping is impossible. So it is not. It does not overlap with the p orbital of A atom. This orbital has lower energy than 1 pi mu. Actually, I have reading from the starting. The energy level of the doubly degenerate p orbital 1 pi mu orbital is highest. It consists of two p orbital of A atom perpendicular to the molecular axis. It does not overlap with the 1s orbital of the hydrogen atom. On bending the molecule, now it is a linear. We can take it as linear as 180 degree. On bending the molecule, the p orbital which lies on the molecular axis overlap with the symmetric combination of hydrogen H1s orbitals. Overlapping between the, on bending the molecule, two condition arises. You are seeing there, one is 3a1 and other is 3b2. So on bending the molecule, the p orbital which lies on the molecular axis, that is x-axis or z-axis, lies on the molecular axis overlap with the symmetric combination of hydrogen. Means this overlapping is caused in a symmetric way, symmetric combination of hydrogen 1s orbital, and then form 3a1 orbital, 3a1 orbital. This orbital has lower energy than 1 pi mu. This orbital has lower energy than 1 pi mu because on bending the molecule, some amount of energy is released. So 3a1 has lesser in energy than 1 pi mu, but and this difference can be explained, and this difference is higher in energy than the increase in 1b2. Okay, then it is interesting to note that fall of energy of 3a1 than 1 pi mu is faster than the rise of energy of 1b2 than 1 sigma mu. This difference is explained on bending the molecule. The overlapping integral of 3a1 is greater than decrease in the overlap integral on going from 1 sigma mu to 1 b2. At the same time, since the p orbital perpendicular to the molecular axis, now we go to another option. At the same time, since the p orbital perpendicular to the molecular axis, that is 1d1 molecular orbital, has no overlap with the h orbital because it is overlapping in asymmetric way. The first one is overlapping in symmetric way. This p orbital is overlapping in asymmetric way and it is not parallel, it is perpendicular. So this time overlap with the h orbital, no overlap with the h orbital, hence 1b1 has the same energy as 1 pi mu. So what we have discussed till now, first we revise this. So on, I am explaining from the beginning about this diagram. We are taking an example of triatomic molecule, that is AH2 molecule. 1A and 2H is triatomic molecule. So first the two 1s orbital of hydrogen atom overlap with the 1s orbital of the A atom in a linear way, and this orbital is denoted by 2 sigma g. On bending this molecule, a larger amount of energy, a large any simple small amount of energy is released. So this line shows a decrease in energy, and a new orbital is formed by bending this, and this orbital is denoted by 2a1. Now, on excitation, the two 1s orbital of hydrogen atom overlap with the p orbital of the A atom, and this orbital is denoted by 1 sigma mu. Now it is a linear molecule, means 180 degree. Now bending this molecule to 90 degree. On bending this molecule, a large amount of energy is needed, and that large amount of energy is denoted by this line. Large amount of energy is needed, and then this molecule, this bent molecule is formed, which is denoted by 1b2. On further excitation, there is two doubly degenerate p orbital is present, and which is perpendicular to the molecular axis, and this is we can take it as a linear molecule which are not overlapping with two 1s orbital of the hydrogen atom. Now on bending this molecule, it is 180 degree. Now bending this molecule to 90 degree, two condition develops. First, the two hydrogen atoms overlap with the p orbital in a symmetric way, and the two hydrogen atoms overlap with the p orbitals in a asymmetric way. In symmetric way, the overlapping is done, and this overlapping results in the decrease in the energy. But this decrease in energy is higher than this increase in the energy, which is denoted by 1b2. Okay, and this here the overlapping between hydrogen and p orbital of A atom doesn't happen. So it has equal energy than 1 pi mu. So here the energy of AS2 molecules is explained on the basis of this Walsh diagram. So let's go to next slide. Now we consider, actually, let's go to previous page. In this diagram, you have seen that in this diagram, no any repulsion have seen, that we have discussed in the VSEPR theory, that in VSEPR, the molecular geometry are changed. They get distorted from tetrahedral, from trigonal bipyramidal to T-shape to linear. So how the shape get distorted due to the presence of lone pair. But in the Walsh diagram, we are not considering Walsh does not consider lone pair here. He explained the shape of the molecules without considering lone pair repulsion, without considering repulsion. So in this diagram, nucleus repulsion and electron repulsion has not been considered. So hence it can be used to predict the approximate shape of the molecules, whether molecule is linear or whether the molecule is bent. So with the help of Walsh diagram, we can predict the shape of the molecule as a linear or as a bent. So now we consider the molecule BeH2. Here the BeH2 contains 4 valence electron, 2 of beryllium and 2 of hydrogen. It has only 4 valence electron which have the lowest two orbitals filled. It is clear from the figure that the lowest minimum energy, previous figure, we are talking about previous figure, that the lowest minimum energy will be achieved by having linear molecule with 2 sigma g. Here BeH2 can be taken as linear in 180 degree, and by bending the molecule it can be taken as bent. Okay, now we consider the molecule BeH2. It has 4 valence electron. Now the geometry of the molecule can be considered as linear or can be considered as bent. Okay, which have the lowest two orbitals filled. It is clear from the figure that the minimum energy will be achieved by having a linear molecule with 2 sigma g and 1 sigma u orbitals filled in this diagram. linear molecule 2 sigma G. When it is not bent, when it is linear, when it is bent, it will go to 2 sigma A. So BS2, we are talking about that when it is bended from linear to bent. On the other hand, the first excited state of BES2 should be bent corresponding to the electron, such uh, corresponding to one electron each in 3a1 and 1b2 orbitals. It is same as we have explained earlier in the previous diagram. Similarly, if we consider CH2 molecules, so in BES2 molecule, the BES2 molecule is actually band, and in band form it is more stable. Okay. So similarly, if we consider CH2 molecules, it has 6 valence electrons, 4 electrons of carbon and 2 electrons of hydrogen. So it has 6 valence electrons. It is a bent molecule. It is also bent molecules. So lesser than 180, if the bond angle is lesser than 180, then it will be counted as a band. Okay, so it is a band molecule. Bond angle calculated is 134. Here is it in 134. In case of H2O molecule, how many number of valence electron? 6 of oxygen and 2 of hydrogen, means 8 valence electron. In case of H2O molecules, there are 8 valence electrons, and in this case all the orbitals are filled, that is 2a1 2 1b2 2 3a1 2 1b1 2. You are not understanding here. So see the diagram. It is a ground state. 2a1 is a ground state, and further are excited state. Let's go to previous page. 2a1. This 2a1, 1b2, two electrons in further 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To 2a1, 2, 1b2, 2, 3a1, 2, 1b1, 2. So this, like this, we can fill the electrons. Okay. So in case of H2O molecules, there are 8 valence electron, and in this case, all the orbitals are filled. That is 2a1 square, 1b2 square, 3a1 2 square, 1b1 2 square. Due to which water always acquire a band shape like CS2. The observed bond angle of some molecules are BES 200. It is lesser than 180, so it will counted as a band. BS2 131 degree, it is also lesser than 131. It is also lesser than 180, so it will be also counted in band. CS2 134, NS2 103, OS2 104. Oil are lesser than 180 degree, means linear, so they all these molecules are counted in the band, and in the band form it will be more stable. So Walsh explained the approximate shape of the molecules without considering any repulsion. So for pentaatomic molecules, now we are going to deal with pentaatomic molecule. Okay, using a group theoretical approach, molecular energy level diagram for tetrahedral NH4 plus. Here it is NH4 plus is a pentaatomic molecule, 4H and 1 nitrogen, 4 plus 1 5 is constructed, including approximate symmetry labels and any assumption made in the construction of MO diagram. Bond order is predicted for tetrahedral NH4 plus on the basis of MO energy level diagram, which I am discussing further in the next slide. For first valence orbitals of the atom involved in bonding, identified the valence orbital of nitrogen has 2s, 2px, 2py, 2pz, 2s2 and further px, py, pz, 1 electrons each orbitals. While each hydrogen atom has only one s orbital. Yeah, nitrogen, okay, 2s2, 2p3, 7, 5 valence electron actually, and hydrogen carries one electron particular. According to the group theory, we know that according to the group theory, the NH4 plus has tetrahedral geometry. Okay, then NH4 ammonium ion has tetrahedral geometry, and point group of tetrahedral complex is point group of CH4 is tetrahedral, as we already discussed this chapter last month or 2 months before. So for tetrahedral geometry, this type of classes we have discussed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes. The tetrahedral geometry, the tetrahedral point group has 5 classes divided into E, 8C3, 3C2, 6S4, 6 sigma D. Here T1 is not here tetrahedral actually. So E identity is 4, the number of surrounding atom, the number of atoms surrounding the central atom. So here it is 4. So E is 4 and C3. If we uh, do 1C3, if we apply 1C3 axis here, the number of unshifted atom is 1. And if C2 axis is applied here, if we applied 1 C2 axis, So number of unshifted atoms will be 0. Okay, and if we apply S4 axis, S4 symmetry, the number of unshifted or anything will be calculated as 0. 6 sigma d dihedral plane, the number of unshifted atom will be 2. We have studied this in the group theory, so I think you will all understand. So which reduces tetrahedral to A1 and T1. A1 means singly degenerate orbital and T2 means triply degenerate orbital. Triply 3 and 1, 4 means it is 4 means tetrahedral. In nitrogen atom 2s orbital has A1 symmetry. 2s orbital has A1 symmetry means 1 and 2px 2p by 2pz orbital has T2 symmetry means 3 and 3 plus 1 is 4. So recognizing the nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Then hydrogen will have more nucleophilicity means electron donating tendency that can be explained with the help of molecular orbital diagram which we are discussing in the next slide. So this is the molecular orbital diagram of ammonium molecules. Here in tetrahedral sp3 hybridization is found. So here A1 is S and T2 is P. So this the lower two orbitals is bonding orbitals and the upper two orbitals is anti-bonding orbitals. We have draw these orbitals for N plus. Then here H4 the central atom, the surrounding atom H4 and NH4 plus. So in n plus when one electron n plus means when one electron is released, so in that case nitrogen has four atoms, so 1 2 A1 contains four atoms, four electrons, sorry, and T2 has two electrons. Okay, and for hydrogen is 4, so it can be calculated in A1 and T2 respectively as 1 2 3 4. So on overlapping n plus and H4 it will give NH4 plus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons. We have to calculate the distribution of 8 electrons, 4 of this N plus and 4 of this hydrogen. So we have to distribute this 8 electrons in these orbitals, that is bonding and anti-bonding, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons are completed in bonding part only. So that's how we can calculate the bond order. So bond order, we know the formula Nb minus Na is equal to 2. So Nb bonding, how much electrons in the bonding molecular orbitals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. And anti-bonding 0 and divided by 2, 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. So here the bond order of NH4 is 4. That's why the nitrogen atom is surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms. So using the group theoretical approach, a molecular orbital energy level diagram for NH4 is constructed or any orbitals can be constructed. So on the basis of Walsh diagram, on using how the molecules changes its geometry by converting its geometry from linear to bent, how the geometry gets changed. So this can all be discussed or understand with the by understanding the Walsh diagram. So Walsh diagram can use to Walsh diagram explain the approximate shape of the molecules without considering repulsion on the basis of energy level diagram, on basis of correlating the energy levels of particular atom with the energy levels of orbitals, or by correlating the molecular orbital diagram with the molecular symmetry, he is going to predict the actual shape of the molecules, not on the basis of repulsion. So actually it is a modified form of VSEPR theory. Okay, so that's how we can differentiate between the VSEPR theory and Walsh diagram. So I hope you can understand. If any doubt, please ask me in the chat box. So thank you to all of you.